Okay, so we've talked about triangles and we talked about the angles in triangles. And we talked about the angles on the inside of a triangle. So now today we're going to talk about exterior angles. That means angles on the outside. Okay. So sometimes you have this triangle and then you have another angle on the outside. And we still have to be able to figure out what that angle on the outside is. And we can figure it out. So I'm going to label this one as on the outside. And using what we know about some of the angles on the inside, we can figure out what this one on the outside is. So the angles we're going to use are angles 1 and 4. So we're circling them. Or 1 and 4. 1 and 2 are the angles on the inside. So I'm going to label this inside and inside. Okay. So basically what we're going to say is that when you add those two inside angles together, so inside plus the other inside, is going to add up to equal the angle on the outside. Okay, and we're noticing there is another angle in this triangle, angle 3. Don't look at that. That's not going to help you get angle 4. Just the ones that are far away from angle 4, that are not touching the angle on the outside. You add them together and it adds up to the angle on the outside. So let's look at some examples. So I'm supposed to be finding the measure of x in these pictures. So on this one, x is over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label what are my angles on the inside and what are my angles on the outside. So this 60 degrees over here, that's on the inside, so I'm going to put in. And this 50-degree angle, that's also on the inside, so I label in. Angle x over here, is that inside the triangle or outside the triangle? It's outside, so I'm going to label it out. Okay, so if I'm using the formula inside plus inside equals outside, let's put them where they go. So one of my insides was 60 plus my other inside was 50 equals my outside, which was x. So how do I solve this equation? Well, you just add 60 plus 50, and that turns out to be 110. And that is the measure of my outside angle. I just added the numbers together, and that's the number on the outside. Easy. On the other one over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Well, here's my triangle. We're going to label which ones are inside and which ones are outside the triangle. So I got 75's on the inside, x is on the inside, 153, that's the angle on the outside. So using inside plus inside equals outside. Okay, one of my insides was 75 plus my other inside was x equals my outside was 153. How do I solve this equation? Well, I need to move 75 to the other side. How do I do that? Subtract. Subtract. 75 cancels. X is here. Equals 153 minus 75 is something 8. 50? No. 68? No, 78. You would clearly use Desmos for this and not try to do it in your head like I'm doing right now. 78. Yeah, that works. Okay. Here we go. So we're noticing if you have, like, the angle you're looking for is on the outside, you add the two numbers on the inside, you just add them together, get the number. If the one that you're looking for is on the inside, we're subtracting to get that number on the inside. And of course we know that some of our examples are just going to have x's in it. So in this one we're finding the measure of angle C. So I'm going to circle angle C in my picture because I know I'm going to have to solve for x and plug it back into this angle because here's angle C down there. So I'm going to label what's on my inside, what's on my outside. So 3x minus 10, I can see that's on the outside of the triangle. This is on the inside, and this is on the inside. So I set up my equation inside plus inside equals outside. So one of my insides was 25 plus my other inside was x plus 15 equals my outside 3x minus 10. And we're solving. So this is like a real equation got to solve. So I'm looking over here because I got to combine like terms. The 25 and 15, I'm going to add them together. They're on the same side of the equal sign. I just add them, and that gives me 40. X drops down because there's nothing to combine with it. The other side just drops down because they cannot combine together. Now I'm solving for x, so I'm going to move the 3x to the other side, minus 3x, minus 3x. And I drop down negative 10 and 40. X minus 3x is negative 2x. That's a positive 40, so I put a little plus sign. And then, here we go. I'm moving 40 to the other side, so I got to the opposite, so minus 40. 40 cancels, drop down negative 2x. Negative 10 minus 40 is negative 50. And then divide by negative 2. And I get x equals positive 25. But I'm not done because we said at the beginning I had to find angle C. And we circled this was angle C, so I got to plug it back in. So I'm taking 25. I'm plugging it in right there. So I got 25 plus 15. And the final answer, when you type that in Desmos, you should get 40. Angle C equals 40. Final answer. So you can go ahead and start your practice.